So, I built my own world cruise. When I first started mapping out what my year for 2026 was gonna look like, I didn't sit down and say, I'm gonna build a world cruise. That sounds way more intentional than it actually is. What I did was, basically I've been living on cruise ships for almost 2 years now. And I noticed that as I was booking my offers, I kept getting offers in different parts of the world. I usually try to stay in one cruise port or area for as long as possible. And one day I looked at the calendar and I asked myself, I wonder if I can circle the globe while traveling on cruise ships and still stay within my budget. So, of course, I don't want to do like a luxury cruise or anything like that, but just on my regular cruises, you know, just cruise by cruise with as few hotels and flights as possible. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I built my own version of a world cruise, what it costs, and how this year actually is planned to shake out. Plus, why this might not be as impossible as you might think. For safety reasons, I am not going to share my exact dates and itinerary because I'm a solo female traveler. So I got to keep that to myself. But I am going to show you my plan. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. And if you're thinking about taking some cruises and possibly wanting to travel around the world, I'm going to show you how you can build your own plan. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I'm Linnell, and this is the far side of ordinary. I have been living a life that is nothing like what you are used to, and that's what this channel is all about. I got rid of 99% of my possessions so I could live full-time on cruise ships. If you are interested in following such a journey, then make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell notification so that you don't miss the next video that I post. If you're interested in how much it cost me to do this and how I was able to do it and get the deals that I get, make sure that you check out my very first video that is linked in the video description. Hello. Everybody's going the wrong way. What this year actually looks like. In 2026, I'm going to be traveling the entire year. I know you're probably already judging me and you're wondering, how am I going to do certain things like visit my family or visit my friends? How am I going to go see my doctor? How am I going to get my prescriptions? I can't answer every single question in one video, so you'll have to subscribe and stick around to see everything that's going to be included in this type of journey. I'm out of breath, so I'm gonna go sit down somewhere. I'm gonna show you my plan, but to start, this is what the year is, I'm thinking what it's gonna look like. So far, what I have down is it's gonna be about 270 days on ships. It's gonna be about 80 days in hotels and about 15 days of traveling. So traveling on flights, trains, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to stick with the 4 major cruise lines that I already sail with, which are Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Princess, and Holland America. Some of the cruises are as short as 3 days, and some are longer than a month. Well, one longer than a month, and everything in between. I started my cruises this year over here in beautiful Miami. And I started on Symphony of the Seas. I am currently on Wonder of the Seas. And I'll be staying in the Miami area, Miami-Fort Lauderdale area for the first 3 months of the year. And then once I leave this area here, I'm gonna go over to California for some other cruises, including one that goes to Hawaii, which is a bucket list cruise for me. I have never been to Hawaii, so I am super excited about that. Once I leave Hawaii, once I leave California, I told you I'm excited about Hawaii. once I leave California, I see sunlight over here. It's a little cool today. I am here in Miami. Like I said, wonder of the sea. Let me give you a little glimpse of what I see. So behind me, you can see deck 6, the boardwalk of Wonder of the Seas. And then this way here, you can see the pier. The cruise pier. Looks like we don't have any Norwegian ship over there today. But you can see Miami in the background. You can see this new arch that they are building back there. And yeah, it's a clear day. And look at this water. Look how beautiful it is. But let me go over here in the sun, warm up a little bit. That's kind of cool right there, huh? Pretty cool. Oh, she has that thing on her arm, so. It is embarkation day. Let me come and sit over here, a little bit in the sun. I'm a little in the sun. What is this? Oh, there's a railing right there. Hold on. I think this is better. All right, so, okay, so where was I? I kind of lost my place. Okay, so California, a few cruises over there, bucket list cruise, including Hawaii. I think I mentioned that. Crossing the continent, not the continent, the country. Crossing the country, go over to the East Coast to take 3 cruises over there. From there, I'm gonna fly over to Europe. In Europe, I'm taking a couple of cruises there. Then I'm going to fly back to the US, and I'm gonna take a transatlantic cruise from the US over to back to Europe. And all of that is just the first half of the year. For the second half of the year, I'm gonna take another group cruise in Europe. I'm gonna join some friends for an African safari, and then I'm taking a vacation. I know it sounds wild, right? All right, so what am I doing over there for my vacation? I am going to scout out Johannesburg, South Africa, and Da Nang, Vietnam. Both of these places are actually vacations for me, right? They're different kind of vacations, but I'll come back to that in a minute. So once I finish those vacations, I'm heading back to Europe, specifically Greece this time. I'm gonna take a few more cruises, and then I'm gonna head back to the US for some cruises out of California. So, I need your help. There is one decision that I haven't made yet. After Greece, I have 2 options. I can fly over the Pacific and land in California and officially circle the globe. Or I can fly over the Atlantic, save a few bucks because it'll be less expensive from Greece going back over the Atlantic, and technically not complete the loop. So, help me make a decision. What would you do? Would you pay a little more to officially circle the globe, or save the money and not care what the map says? I'm gonna be watching the comments to see what the consensus is. So do me a favor and let me know, what would you do? At this point, I would have officially or unofficially have circled the globe, but I'm not stopping there. Once I am back in California, I'm gonna take some more cruises, including one cruise that is over a month long, going back to Hawaii and the Pacific, some Pacific islands over there, Bora Bora, French Polynesia destinations, and a few other places out there in the Pacific Ocean, and some more cruises over on the California coast. So I'll be there for a bit, and then when I leave California, I'm gonna head back to the southeast coast of the US to spend some holiday time with family, and also to end the year with more cruises. So that is my 2026. What happens after 2026? I am not ready to say what happens in 2027 yet, with the exception of some cruises that I already have booked for January 2027. I have 4 cruises booked, so those are locked in. But other than that, I genuinely don't know yet. I have not decided. So I briefly mentioned that I'm going to be taking my vacations, some scouting trips over in Vietnam and South Africa. And that is a big if, because I absolutely love living full-time on cruises. But if I decide not to continue full-time cruising, I would either slow travel the world or settle down in one place. But I absolutely love, I've fallen in love with Mazatlan, Mexico and Merida, Mexico. They are close to the top of my list, but they moved down a bit because of the ongoing issues between some Mexicans, not all, but some Mexicans, and the concern about U.S. expats gentrifying different communities. So I don't know, I'm gonna kind of put that on the back burner for now. And even though I love those places, Mazatlan and Merida, Mexico, if I decided to settle down in one place in 2027 or later, 2028 beyond, right now my top choices are Da Nang, Vietnam and Johannesburg, South Africa. That's why I'm going to these 2 places, not as a typical vacation, but as scouting trips. So if I decide to continue living full-time on cruise ships, well, I've had an excellent vacation in 2 places that I got to know a little better. And if I decide, hey, I'm done with cruising, let me go try something else, then maybe one of these places are what I am going to be doing. I've already done some research and I want to have boots on the ground to see if these are viable places for me to keep them as consideration for long-term retirement. All right, friend, let's talk money, because that's probably what you're really here for, right? When I average this entire year out, excluding group trips, that comes to about $2,500 a month. Some months will be more, some months will be less. I already showed you my January 2026 expenses, which came out to, what did it come out to? $1,400? Yeah, $1,400 for January. So you know that some months for me are going to be higher and some months for me are going to be lower, but the average that I plan to spend is around $2,500 per month. So let's go finish walking and we'll talk about it a little bit more. I think I've rested enough. For the full year, my travel costs should come to just under or just above $30,000. That includes the cruises, the hotels, the flights, the trains, the optional gratuities on the ships. It does not include any of my personal non-travel expenses like my cell phone bill, my health insurance, my streaming, so Netflix, and what else do I have? Oh no, this way is cut off. Let me see if I can keep going that way or not. Oh, I see. That's where people are getting on the ship. All right. So let me go around. Alrighty, they don't want us to go through. It doesn't make sense that that door is locked, but oh well. Alright, so I guess we will continue the conversation since I gotta walk this way anyway. So where was I? I was saying that what my expenses are gonna be for 2026. So January was $1,400, $2,500 a month average, so around $30,000. So this includes my cruises, my hotels, my flights, my trains, optional gratuities on the ship. It does not include my personal non-travel expenses like my cell phone, my health insurance, my streaming services, and random life stuff. All that stuff is going to be different than your number anyway, so it doesn't help for me to give you that. For me, these come out to between $500 and $1,000 a month, and I keep that in a separate budget of mine. So the $30,000 is only for the travel expenses. And yes, before the comments start, there are gonna be other expenses that I haven't talked about. Let me go up these stairs and then I'll tell you what those are what I'm expecting for those. All right, where were we? I keep losing my concentration. I think I was talking about my other expenses, what my travel expenses are versus my non-travel expenses. So, my wild card expenses. Before I talk about the wild card expenses, let's take a quick pause. If this video is making you rethink what's possible, even a little, hit that like button. It helps more than you think. And if you want to see more about how all this actually plays out, whether I actually hit my budget or not each month, if I decide to keep cruising or not, or if I pivot completely different, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and hit the notification bell. Some people think that they are subscribed when they are really not even subscribed. So double check, make sure you are subscribed. All right. So, I am living on cruise ships. I do have to remind people that because this is not a luxury influencer fantasy or a shoestring backpacker struggle bus adventure. I'm not sleeping on any park benches. I am not flying in business class on airplanes. I'm not booking hostels or penthouses. My budget works because of structure. And listen, I'm not doing any kind of dumpster diving or splurging. This is a realistic life plan, and this is me living my real life and not a vacation. My alarm is going off, reminding me to drink some water. This is a realistic life plan for me. I'm not on vacation, even though it looks like it, because I'm here on Wonder of the Seas, and it's so beautiful. Yeah, this is everyday life for me. So, let me back up a little. How is this living even possible? In case you're new here, all of these cruises, what is going on with my camera? I think it's okay. All of these cruises were earned from casino plays back in 2023 through 2025. The cruise prices are already locked in and booked. I don't need to play in the casino at all in 2026, okay? Some of the offers come with onboard credits and some of them come with free play. Probably not going to play in the casino unless not to be chasing any other deals in 2026. So if I decide to play in the casino, it'll just be for fun because I like to play in casinos. And also, it'll just be for me casually playing, right? Not to chase anything. But later in 2026, if I decide, yes, in 2027, I'm still loving living full-time on cruise ships, then of course I'm probably gonna go and play some more and get some more points so I can make sure that I'm still in the system for these cruise lines that I'm already booking cruises on. So if you, again, if you're new here and you're not, really sure about how all that works, I explain all of that, the system that I'm doing it. I explain all that in detail in other videos. So I'm not going to rehash all that here in this video. If you want the mechanics, just check out the links in the video description. Those videos will help you out. For now, just know this. The cruises are real, and I'm absolutely still loving this lifestyle. All of my Royal Caribbean and Holland America cruises are paid for in full. For Carnival and Princess, I paid the minimum deposits up front, and I pay the remaining balances 4 months before each cruise. The balances aren't due until 3 months before each cruise, but I pay them 4 months before each cruise. So I do keep that in my calendar. For my hotels and flights, I book them about 6 months in advance. So some are booked and paid for, and others are still pending. Most of my hotels are at least booked though. Yeah, like I have the reservation for them. Next, I'm going to talk about some other expenses that I'm going to have, but please let me pause here for just a moment. If you're watching this thinking, okay, how does someone even plan like this? Or how do you make decisions without panicking? Or how do you stop defaulting to the life that you were handed? Because a lot of us are just living on autopilot, right? That's exactly why I created Retire Without Millions. It's not a cruise course. It's not a travel course. It is a decision-making framework. How to design a life that costs less than what you were told it would. How to question assumptions. How to build options instead of waiting for permission. That's the same framework that I used to build this year. The link is in the video description if you want to check it out. No pressure. It's just information. If it's something that you want, it's there. All right, now let's get back to the fun part. The flow of this year. 2026 started and will end with me on a cruise. So I'll be on cruises for New Year's, both ends. And that's exactly how I liked it. That's how I planned it. There are some stretches where I will stay on cruise ships, on the same ship for back-to-back cruises. And then there are times where I slow down. I'm staying in hotels for a few days or even for a week. There are moments when I cross the ocean instead of flying over them. And then there are 2 places that I'm very intentionally spending time off the ship, which I already mentioned, Vietnam and South Africa. And I guess you consider the 3rd place, which is when I go back southeast in the US to go hang out with my family for the holidays. Now, let's talk about what's not locked in yet. So some of my wild card expenses that I don't already have booked are transfers. I kind of know what they're gonna be, approximate, but they're not in my budget yet, but they are still in my plan, right? So some of the expenses that I'm considering having later are gonna be transfers to and from airports and between airports and cruise terminals, food when I'm on land, random transportation, things that I don't even know that I'll need yet. Some other expenses are going to be like the vaccinations that I need when I go to Africa and also, well, South Africa. Also, the visas for when I go to other countries. What else? I know there's going to be some things that will pop up that you don't know what you don't know until you get there, right? There might be some possible excursions. There might be, I'm gonna have to replace some clothes. I wear this shirt a lot, so I'm probably gonna wear it out. So all of those things will get added as they happen. I don't hide those costs. I just don't pretend that I know them in advance. So I'm aware that more costs will come into play, but right now, that's not something that I can really say how much it is. I also have the top tier travel insurance plan with Alliance. I just renewed that for another year. It cost me $510 for the year. I think last year was $490, this year is $510. So that's already included in my planning. So yeah, I do have the travel insurance, which covers all my travel, whether I'm on cruises or if I'm in hotels overseas, even in the US if I'm traveling to a hotel, right? So yeah, that's included as well. All right, friends, so you've realized by now that this video isn't really about cruises. It's about realizing that most of us are living inside of rules that we didn't write. Rules about retirement, about travel, about money, rules about what's realistic. And once you start questioning those rules, options start showing up everywhere, right? So I was not planning to live full-time on cruise ships. You don't need to live on cruise ships. You don't need millions of dollars. You don't need permission. You just need a different framework. So yeah, that's what this video is all about. And that is my DIY world cruise. I built it slowly, I built it intentionally, and it's still flexible enough to change. So if I do need to move some things around, cancel some cruises, move to a different hotel, go do something else unexpectedly, then my plan is very flexible. I'm not stuck in a situation where I can't change my mind, right? Whether I'm still doing this again in 2027 or not, we shall see. But for now, this is the plan. And if you're even thinking about designing your own version of this, stay close, because this year is going to answer a lot of questions for me and for you. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an amazing day, and hope to see you on the next cruise.